Kidnapping has always given cause for worry, leaving sordid memories in the mind of its victims. Kidnapping comes top on the list of some of the issues bedeviling Nigeria. The taking of hostages by one group or individual in order to bring pressure to bring on those in opposition to the views, philosophies, or methods of the captor is old as time. The kidnap of individuals with a view to extorting huge rewards from family, friends, and employers is similarly nothing new. Today we look at the factors leading to kidnapping, its gruesome effects, and the possible solution. Welcome to Public Announcement. Ancient history is littered with tales of people being held captive and their families or countries being threatened by the hostage takers that injury or death to their loved ones would be the result of a failure to meet their demand. In the last decade, the taking of hostages and the threat of death and mutilation to the victim have become a major political weapon for those engaged in acts of international terrorism and extortion. As long as we place human life at the highest premium, government will be at a disadvantage in dealing with political kidnapping, and freedom fighters will continue to seize government officials, company executive diplomats, and sometimes any unfortunate who happens to be near in an effort to further their cause, bargain for their escape, or fill their coffers. Few weeks back, 6 students of Igonla Model College in Ekpe were abducted. The Lagos State Police Command was said to have foiled a kidnap attempt at the Igonla Model College.
No, I don't think Lagos has too many problems. Infrastructurally, or probably with infrastructure, they are doing very fine. You understand? They are more like the Western world in Nigeria. That's Lagos City. But where I think they should look at is the issue of we having to hear stories of children being kidnapped in schools and all that. I know they are trying, but I think they should do more with security. Lagos is a bit more safer, but at least if we have a very balanced security where we understand that our children will go to school and we don't have to be wondering if they will come back home safe, or one bastard will go and say they don't kidnap them or anything. We just need more. We need more safe schools for our kids. The schools are safe, but we need more security actually.
I think security is almost there, but they're not doing enough yet. I think they need to do more in terms of security. I think just few weeks ago we heard about children being kidnapped in school, so which means that the security needs to go high. So we need to work on security more and to get better.
It was gathered that the suspected kidnappers attempted to gain entrance into the school premises through the rear fence. They were said to have fired gunshots to scare the students, but the policemen on guard were able to intercept them and then called for reinforcement. But security said that 6 school students were abducted. Barely 7 months after a daredevil kidnap gang stormed the Lagos State Model College at the Igonla area of Ekpe and abducted the vice principal and 4 students, 6 students were again abducted from the same school. The gunmen, numbering over 15, it was gathered, had stormed the Lagos Model College and successfully abducted the 6 male students who were picked randomly. However, initial unconfirmed reports had indicated that, aside the 6 students, the kidnappers had allegedly abducted 2 principals from the school, from the junior secondary school, and the other from the senior secondary school section. While the identity of the students are still shrouded in secrecy, that of the junior secondary school principal was simply revealed as Mr. Bolaji Oyeshola and his counterpart at the senior level as Mr. Akerimade. The first information about the abduction had come from the Facebook page of one Elemoro Afolabi Sharif, who wrote that gunmen had invaded the college. However, initial sketchy findings revealed that the kidnappers had alerted the school authorities about their visit a week before they made good their threat. It is yet uncertain what measures the school might have put on ground when they got the letter from the kidnappers, given that the gang actually fulfilled their promise and successfully too. According to eyewitness accounts, the attack took place at the school while they were still at the assembly ground, as it's their routine every morning.
Everyone has a role to play. If you are a TV producer, do programs that will engage the youth. If you are a footballer, organize competition that will engage the youth. Anywhere you find yourself, whatever profession you are doing, just do something that will engage the youth. So it's not a government problem alone. I think that's where the challenge is. It's you and I, our problem. It's everybody on the street's problem. Because when someone is kidnapped, somebody is crying. It could be any one of us. So the concept of bad things in any country has to do with inadequate positive engagement of the youth. So when we engage our youth positively, we'll be able to curb all the negative things that are happening everywhere.
Our schools are undermined. You know, sometimes you will never expect it. Why will a kidnapper go to a school? This is a pointer to the government that those places you think it's not necessary, security is not necessary, it's high time you went there and make it a necessary place. Like the schools, even the farm, like 10 years ago, we never thought herdsmen would begin to go to farms and kill people. So there should be security everywhere. Please don't undermine any place.
I mean, if somebody is going to kidnap somebody, they are going to do it regardless of if there's security there, they will always find a way. So for me, I just feel like, you know, for the youth, and you just have to be very vigilant. You have to be extremely careful and just take care in everything you're doing, you know. If you have something, that voice at the back of your head and it's telling you this environment is not safe, you're not supposed to be here, listen to that, you know. Always listen to your intuition and try and stay safe. It's not a good thing. So I just pray everybody stays safe, and I just pray that these people, these students come back whole and come back safe. That is my prayer for them, so yeah.
Having accessed the school through a hole they dug in the fence, the gunmen had burst into the school by shooting sporadically into the air. In the chaos that erupted, they successfully grabbed the 6 students and ran away on foot till they made it past the wall and boarded the speedboats they had come with. The gang was said to have made it gateway through the Imeru waterway directly behind the school into the river that leads to Ogun and Ondo states, as well as known route for pipeline vandals. Immediately the news filtered out, pandemonium erupted among the families of those who have their kids and wards enrolled in the school. While some of the parents and guardians who lived nearby headed for the school immediately, others who couldn't took to different social media platforms to ask questions about their wards, not that they got answers. At the school, it was pandemonium galore as parents who arrived on time struggled to reunite with their kids, and at the end of the day, when sanity was restored, it became clear that 6 students were missing. One of those worried parents was one Ifeanyi Okafor, who took to both Twitter and Facebook to ask about the details of the incident, given that he has a younger brother in the school. He asked, "I heard kidnappers stormed Lagos State Model College Igonla at Ekpe. How true is this? My younger brother's school's there." Like him and so many others who took to social media to ask questions, they got no answers given the modern state of the school's different social media platforms. It was revealed that all their social media pages were mostly for decoration, as the handler was very abysmal in his or her duty of updating the different handles. While the school's Twitter page at LSMC Igonla had 90 palty followers, the last tweet was in 2013, and for the Instagram page at Lasmokol Igonla, with its 164 followers, had just one post from 2016, and its Facebook page with over 2,000 likes had mostly posts from ex-students of the school. The few ex-students that spoke on the incident, like one Tomiwa Temilayo said, "The sad breaking news of 6 students who were abducted from the award-winning Lagos State Model College, Igonla, by unknown gunmen has left our great school vulnerable. This is the second time this is happening in the school in less than a year. Recall that the same incident occurred around October 2016. Please save our students, teachers and parents from the phobia of abduction." Meanwhile, the police have debunked claims that the kidnappers abducted 2 principals of the school, as well as claims that the police were notified of any notes by the gang prior to their arrival. A senior police officer who spoke on anonymity said, "Our investigation revealed that they dug a hole through the fence and gained access into the school. Our dilemma, however, is that they made a way through the river, which is directly behind the school. The problem is that the river leads to Ogun, Lagos, Ondo states, and even goes as far as Port Harcourt. So even if we have the wherewithal to go after them, we don't know the directions they took. It's a wide and big river. Our next line of action after securing the school is to go back to our drawing board. We're going to plan strategically because we don't know where they took them now. The rains don't help us too, as it made rescue operations difficult. For now, they are yet to contact the respective families of the abducted boys, and it's to be expected because they're probably still on their way to their hideout or about covering their tracks." Also reacting to the incident, the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Police Command, Fatai Owoseni, who was at the school with the Commander, Rapid Response Squad, ACP Olatunji Disu, said, "Some kidnappers gained entrance into Igonla Model College, Igonla near Ekwe, and abducted 6 students. Investigation and rescue operation have commenced with the visit to the affected school by a police team led by me. From the visit, it was found that the criminal elements used the Imeru-Iji waterway to access the swampy forest bordering the school, bore a hole on the part of the school fence to gain entrance. The dastardly act of this criminal element is nothing other than sheer wickedness, as there is no justification whatsoever to abduct innocent children. The trauma being gone through at this difficult moment by parents, guardians and relatives of the innocent children can only be imagined. We, however, appeal for calm to enable security agencies focus on rescue operations and apprehension of the suspects. The police and other security agencies will intensify all necessary measures towards ensuring safety and security of the good people of Lagos State. We will appreciate useful information from the members of the public.
They say an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Am I right? Yeah. So they need to actually create job opportunities for people so that they would not be idle. Because when you're idle, you start thinking of different things to do, probably fraud or, other way around, kidnapping and all sorts to, make your living. You understand? So I would, urge our government to create, more job opportunities so that people don't go the other way around.
I think everybody should be involved on this. Individuals should be very careful and also be careful wherever we're going to, and also be cautious of where our kids are going to. And also the government should be focused on that aspect too, because it's very important we feel safe in our own community and environment. So I think we all should take a part and impact on that aspect.
I think everyone is responsible. I think everyone has a part to play, to stop, kidnapping and all that. The other day I saw something about what's this man's name again in Port Harcourt, who wore just singlet and boxers to protest against, the frequent armed robbery and in Port Harcourt. I think that's a good start. If everyone takes these things seriously, and speak out or speak up, I think things are going to change.
Here are 5 popular kidnapping cases that shook Nigeria. The kidnap of the wife of Nigeria's central bank governor, Godwin Emefiele, along the Benin-Agbo road shook Nigeria to the very core for at least 2 days. Many wondered how, despite the heavy security, an important personality would still be kidnapped. The kidnap shows clearly that the perpetrators were well trained and had given much thought to the operation. This really scared every Nigerian. That kidnap, however, is not the first time an important, well-protected personality had been kidnapped in Nigeria. Laurenta Laraba Malam, the Minister of Environment during the government of Goodluck Jonathan, was reportedly abducted along with her 73-year-old husband, Pius, in Jere in Kaduna State. The Lagos monarch, the Oba Oniba of Ibaland, known as Oba Yushao Oseni, was abducted on July 16, 2016. The abductors shot his wife and killed his guard. The abductors whisked him away out of the palace at about 11:30 p.m. and took him away through the waterways. They later demanded a ransom of 500 million naira for his release. He was released after 3 weeks, wearing just shorts and a t-shirt, after his abductors had collected about 15 million naira. Madam Beauty Siasia is the mother of the late under-23 Nigeria football team coach, Samson Siasia. She was kidnapped from her home in Odoni village, Shagama local government area of Bayelsa State on November 16, 2015. The kidnappers demanded a ransom of 150 million naira, which they reduced to 50 million naira and then 32 million naira. Eventually, she was released by her captors 12 days later on November 28, 2015, at about 1:30 a.m. on the popular East-West Road, the major gateway linking the South-South to other parts of the country. Whether a ransom was paid was not revealed, as police claimed she was released due to the fact that they were hot on the heels of the kidnappers. Professor James Adichie is the father of the popular Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who was kidnapped on May 2, 2015 on his way from Nsukka, Enugu State to Anambra State. He was released 3 days later after an undisclosed amount was paid. The kidnappers initially asked for 50 million naira. In an interview with BBC News Hours, Chimamanda said, "We are still reeling from it. We still have nightmares. I feel deeply hurt and shocked. I also felt very angry. I never imagined it would happen to us and to an 80-year-old father like my father, who spent his whole life teaching for Nigeria. I felt Nigeria had failed us." The former finance minister and secretary to the government of the Federation, SGF, Olufalaye, was kidnapped by 6 Fulani herdsmen at his Ilado home in Akure, Ondo State on September 21, 2015. The kidnap caused quite an uproar. The kidnappers asked for 100 million naira, which they later reduced to 90 million naira, although the amount paid by the family is undisclosed. He was later released on September 24, 2015. His abductors were later arrested by the police. Narrating the ordeal, Olufalaye said, There were 6 of them with 3 or 4 guns, and every half an hour or so they will say, "Baba, we are going to kill you if you don't give us money. We are going to kill you." On Wednesday, one of them came and said, "Look, we are going to leave here on Thursday morning. Since we cannot leave you here alone, if we don't get what we want, we are going to kill you." The chief imam of the University of Nigeria Nsukka UNN Central Mosque, Sheikh Adam Idoko, was kidnapped on September 10, 2015 at his hometown, Ogute Enugu Ezike in Igbo Eze North Council area of Enugu State, where he was attending a meeting. The kidnappers, who asked for 20 million naira, were said to have been paid 2 million naira as ransom, and he struck a bargain not to involve security operatives in his rescue. He was later released in the early hours of September 17, 2016. Here are just a few of the popular kidnapping cases in Nigeria. But how much effort is the government putting to ensure that this dastardly and gruesome act is completely curbed out of Nigeria? The negative psychological effects of being abducted are huge, especially for a child. Depression, anxiety, PTSD may last a lifetime. In a society where the incidence of kidnapping is high, fear limits people's lives and actions. They always move with caution as they do not know who is likely to be the next target. We took to the streets of Lagos to find out people's reaction on this topic.
I think we should have more of the security people around, at least in some states, some streets, some areas.
This morning when I was hearing the news that they just released a captain, for that matter, he wasn't kidnapped in Borough Court. And the family had to pay the ransom of 1.5 million in this kind of recession. You see, it's not a matter of unemployment, as a matter of fact, because the government is obviously trying their best to make the situation of the company and the country better. So let me say it's greediness, because naturally, me, I would say we human, we are full of devil in us. But if we move closer to God, actually I'm a Christian, so I'm gonna talk on the basis of being a Christian. Naturally, human are being devilish. But if we move closer to God, all those kind of devilish talk, obviously there are numerous of us walking on the street. We don't have nothing to do. None of us are unemployment, as a matter of fact, but we are not letting devil take on this thing. So we try to do the next thing they do. Those that are kidnapping, they are evil, as a matter of fact, and they should be prosecuted. They said the life imprisonment is okay for me, as a matter of fact. It's okay for me, for anybody that is being caught in the act of this thing. Kidnapping.
Because I feel if the security is tight, definitely there's no possible way people will come in and just kidnap a group of students like that. No way. So I feel it's poor security, yes.
Well, the increase in kidnapping, it's not actually reducing, as a matter of fact. You know, it's increasing from time to time, and it's actually taking different dimensions or different forms. And it's really sad because a lot of lives are being lost as a result of that, and so many traumas have been caused as a sad effect of this this kind of will I say inhuman act. You know, well, that's the way it is, and that's just the way I see it.
Government need to provide a job for the youth, so to decrease the population to decrease the kidnapping in Nigeria. Youth need job. Youth need more, as in let them do more and produce more company in the Nigeria, so that youth can have a job. Youth can do. Some people will be working in the street, living around the street, living under bridge because of what? There's no employment in Nigeria, in the states.
The rate of kidnapping is very, very high, because presently in this country, we are aware of what is going on, that the rate at which employment, as in the employment rate, has drastically, dropped. So as a result, a lot of youths, they are out there, they are not engaged, you understand? So they can easily, they can easily take upon themselves, you understand, activities that are not legal, illegal activities, and, something like that. So I believe it is very, very high. The rate of crime in this country is presently high.
It's on that note we end today's episode of Public Announcement. Join us next time for another episode. Until then, it's bye for now.